Hi, and welcome back to Yin Yang Life Advice. My name is Holly, and this is Camelia, where we give advice on all different life topics. Feel free to send in your short story to our email, where you will remain anonymous. Our email is yinyanglifeadvice@yahoo.com. We encourage anyone that can relate to an email we received to please share their experience in the comment section below, for it may resonate with someone who is in need of advice. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. Our channel is a judgment-free zone. We will delete any comments that discriminate or bully others. We just don't tolerate it. Also, if you or someone you know needs professional help, we encourage you to reach out to the appropriate links we have listed below in the description area. Today, we're going to address an email that we have received. Camelia, would you like to read the email?
Certainly.
Thank you.
Dear Yang and Yang, I am writing to get encouragement on how to handle a situation that hurts my heart because it deals with my child. My son is young, school age, and he learns differently. He has an IEP, which is an individual learning plan. His school is wonderful at giving him the extra support he needs. I have no complaints or concerns about that. They love him and support him, and I trust them to help him along. The only trouble I'm having is the location of the extra support he gets, and maybe a little bit of him needing that all together as a whole. I'm having difficulty accepting that others can see he is going to a place at school for that extra support. Perception is reality. Unfortunately, I don't want others to think he's not smart or capable because he goes there. I do not want him to be put into a box by his peers or teachers. He is creative, amazing thinker, and he needs extra right now as he benefits this type of support for some time as school gets harder, which is a tough pill to swallow. Could be pride or shame that I'm fighting against, possibly fighting what others think too is an issue. How does a mom tackle these deep soul concerns for her child? Well, concerned Mama Bear, thank you for sending in your email. As a mom myself, I have one of my boys that have went through something very similar. They have an IEP as well at school. And, you know, when you have to go through the whole process and know that, you know, there is something different about your kids as moms, or even just families, we all kind of doubt ourselves or not know what to do, or maybe start getting on ourselves of wondering where we went wrong. And I'm here to tell you, as a mom that has went through this the last 5 years, is that your concern is normal. You are not alone. There is a huge community that is there to support you, your family, your friends, you know, those that are in school. But at the end of the day, as a mom, because I've been there, it's completely normal to feel the way that you do. And, you know, what I've learned in the last 5 years with my son going through this is that perception is reality. But isn't there a saying that says, like, perception is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, it's only you might be kind of putting that out in the world, thinking that your child is different or they're being perceived that way. But in reality, kids don't see other kids anymore being different because it's kind of common. There's a lot of kids out there that need extra support, whether it's for tutoring for math or extra reading because they don't know how to focus, or just anything really in school. And I think it's great that school now has the funds and the ability to support our kids. But it's tough as a parent to go through that and to know that your child could be perceived as different. And I'm here to tell you that it gets easier, and it's not always going to be this hard. And with the family and your community behind you, you will get through it. And I will say the first year I went through, my husband and I, Ooh, we really got really hard on ourselves. We are like, how did this happen? What could we have done better? Should we have read more or, did this? And, at the end of the day, it is a hard pill to swallow because you feel like as a mom or a parent, you should have done more to help. And nobody wants their child to struggle in any aspect. I mean, that's what we do with parents is to protect and make sure our little babies are good to go. But you're doing the right thing of sharing concern and asking for advice and words of encouragement. And I will say that it does get easier from here, and it's not going to always be hard. You're going to notice that the community's there for you, and that as long as you give the love and support and care to your child, they're going to flourish. Because I will say, in the first year my son went through it, and it was night and day. It was pretty amazing to really see him just grow so much with that extra support, and it was just phenomenal. So as long as you have everyone standing behind you and you constantly give the love and the kisses to the little babies, your son will be okay. And we're always here if you ever need anything. Also, on my final thought, I wore my favorite shirt for you, Kuna Matata. It means no worries, my friend. And you're going to get through this hard time and
I
he'll
love
get easier.
That's so beautiful. I had no idea about the shirt. I mean, maybe back in the day, but it got lost in translation, but that's amazing. I love that, Camellia. That was beautiful. And you said that very well, actually, to the point where I only have one question. And because she said her son is younger, like, and I'm going to assume grade school, and your son is out of that stage already.
Yep.
So did you notice like changes throughout the years, or was there a big change, or does he still kind of struggle with certain things that he did when he was in grade school, or?
I mean, because you do two meetings in that program. You do one in the beginning of the year to make sure that whatever programs or things that the child can get to, that they have them there, the resources, and then you do it again at the end of the year. And the first year we went through, and I thanked the school so much. I was like, considering where we came from and came to this district, it was night and day. I mean, my son was, I mean, he talked, but he wasn't, super good at talking or, being very engaged. He was really quiet and kind of closed off. And throughout the year, we've noticed, he was just more interacting and, just kind of being there and, had fun instead of kind of hiding away. And it was really cool to watch him grow from, kind of this quiet, closed off kid when other people would come over, where now, 5 years later, he talks, he's articulate. He does still
Found his
struggle with
niche in
some
the
stuff.
world, right? He found his niche in the world pretty much.
Yeah, he does a phenomenal job. And,
Yeah, that's good.
I think if and the thing that he struggled with, the school said that it was kind of later in the time that he was kind of put into the program for, which we were kind of sad about because we were like, well, what the heck, like how come no one said anything sooner? Like we just thought some kids struggle. And I mean, I did. I couldn't read I mean, I have an MBA and I still haven't read a book. Just kidding.
Yeah, right. I
um
know you're amazing though. You do amazing.
But, there's always things that I think we as adults we still struggle, and regardless of everything that's there, we put things in place so that we don't struggle as we get older, and we learn how, and we change too so much as we get older. You learn from your mistakes, and um, like I said, 5 years is a long time, and he's just, he's got tons of friends. He's found his niche in the world. He has plans to go to a big university, and
Oh, and
because
that's huge
they're like,
though, for somebody who didn't really like to be very
"Yeah,
talkative and engaging to now want to be engaged in bigger activities. That's huge, you know?
uh, uh,
And he did all the work, you guys were there to support him, but ultimately he did the work, which is
oh yeah,
amazing,
he did.
you know?
Yeah,
So, that's good to hear, so I hope that really helps her you know, with her son along the way and has something to have like something to look forward to, you know what I mean?
it gets easier. But I will say, even as kids get older, everyone's like, yeah, it gets easier as they go, oh, does it? I mean, when they turn a teenager, you got to deal with your own complications. And then when they turn 18, you got to release your children to the outside world, and that can be scary. So every stage of a child's life is takes on its own struggles, pain points, concerns as parents. So
And I just want to highlight, we were never given a rule book when we had these little ones. So everything that we learn, we're growing with them because it's new to them, it's new to us. But because we're older, our mind likes to talk differently to us, but they're just living life like nothing's different. And
yeah.
I think that's really important because we just have to look at life through their eyes versus our own.
Yeah. Sometimes we can project our own feelings onto our children, and they're so innocent in the world of tough times. And we just got to remember, we
Right.
just got to love, cherish the little times because
That's
it goes so
important.
fast.
Love is important, especially in the world that we live in. It needs more love out there. Just saying.
1,000%. Mhm.
Um, Anything else that you want to add, Camelia?
Nope. No,
Okay.
what about you?
Well, I don't have the same, but it's a little different. But I'm gonna kind of read off what I wrote because otherwise I'll loop-de-loo and ADHD. We already know how that goes. Not trying to get lost. Okay, so because I do talk about my ADHD a lot, even though it doesn't qualify to be an IEP, it typically falls under OHI, which is other health impairments. And I've always noticed ADHD more so in boys versus girls growing up. What I have learned over the years is girls tend to have hyperactivity in their head, while boys tend to show impulsive behaviors. ADHD is a lifelong neurodevelopment condition that can be diagnosed at any age, but the symptoms must have begun in early childhood. I wasn't diagnosed until after I had my daughter. I was in my 20s when I was put on medication for ADHD. Now that I'm an adult, I reflect on my childhood a lot and noticed I had ADHD my whole life. It's something that you don't really think about until it's like, oh wow, you know what I mean? It's like where you accept it pretty much, that accepting stage, I would call it. I am grateful that I wasn't diagnosed until my adult years because I was forced to figure out solutions that help me with everyday life. And I guess I'll just kind of start there. Like the solutions that I use in my everyday life is that I give myself pep talks because with ADHD, you can fall into like I don't know all the terminology. I just know how what happens is that you can fall into like this where you get stuck. You know exactly what you have to get done, but you're just stuck. And and it's you have anxiety, you have racing thoughts. But it just paralyzes you. ADHD isn't something that should be glamorized because it's not. It's not fun. If I could like literally pass it on to somebody else, listen, take that, take it away. You know. Um, to this day, I still have issues with my ADHD. Concentration, can't remember what I just read. I literally have to give my full attention for that moment, or it's like poof, like a fart in the wind, it's gone. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And because I didn't get on meds until I was an adult, I did notice that there was a lot of challenges that I had to go through as a child. So now when I was going to, I totally, this escaped my memory until this video. And I want to be very honest with that because I feel it's important for this mother that we're talking to. because now this is, Camelia got to talk about it from a mother standpoint, but now I'm kind of talking to you about from a child standpoint. So when I was a kid in grade school, when somebody needed special or a little bit more extra help, whether it be with reading or taking tests, we had to go into the hallway. And they legit had tables and chairs or even desks out there with another adult, and you had to sit there. And I remember the books, they were a little like I was slow, but I knew I could read. So I didn't understand why they brought me back. Like I had to go out in the hallway and read a book where I knew all those words. So it wasn't I didn't understand that. Um, but also what I do now know is that when I do read things and poof, they're gone, I won't remember it. So now I do understand. But being out in the hallway, everybody knows that when you do that, and I call it a walk of shame. When you do that walk of shame through the classroom to the hallway for that extra help, everybody knows you're going out there because you're special education, right? And then when you're out in the hallway and everybody's going to the bathroom, they're watching you and they know exactly why you're in the hallway. So to me, that did like make me feel a certain way as a kid, which I'd like to highlight though, that I'm glad that they don't do that anymore nowadays. They literally have a special place in a different area, which may seem like what you're talking about may be very, but I think this is the best for kids because at the end of the day, they're with people that they literally have things in common with. And as an adult to this day, I am still like, I have a lot of people who are around me who I have things in common with. That has never changed. And I honestly, as an adult, if you don't match right with me, it's okay. We don't have to even know each other or anything, and it's okay. Or you can have dislikes and that's okay. I'm going off topic. Here we go. There's ADHD. Okay, at your finest. But I'd like to say though, also getting back to school, that was grade school. So now let's go up to high school. It was really difficult in high school. I went to a high school that had like 3,000 students and there was like 32 kids in a classroom, and it was hard. It was really hard. I didn't get the adequate attention that I needed. And eventually I just started skipping school because I didn't care to be there, because I asked the teacher for help once and he said, come to my classroom and I'll meet you there after class. Listen, when I got there, the door was shut and the lights were off. That made me feel very discouraged. When I saw he helped other kids who were very smart, so I didn't understand. I felt like maybe they were picking and choosing, and that made me feel a certain way. So I went down to my counselor's office and I had asked to go to an alternative high school, which I did know another person, a few people that have already gone there, and they seem to really enjoy it. So at this high school, there's only 100 students on the one floor. You know what I mean? Just 100. So your average classroom was like 8 to 13. I thrived. Oh my gosh, I loved high school so much. I never skipped ever again. You know what I mean? Like I even signed up for summer school in that high school, and I took summer school classes because I graduated with a credit and a half more than I was supposed to because I enjoyed that school so much. Okay. And it's because I thrived, because I felt like I fit in. Okay. And it's crazy to say, but I felt like I fit in. Okay. And I really hope that like helps you right there. I'd also like to talk about, real quick. I bumped into my neighbor this morning and, I talked to her about our video, and um, she was really excited to watch it. And I asked her if I could use some of her story into this video. So she said that is totally fine. So I'm gonna just go for it here. And I don't have it written down, so bear with me. So she is a younger mother. I believe she is 25, and her child is 3 going on 4, and he is a nonverbal autistic. And they just moved in earlier this year, and before she moved in, I lived here by myself for like a whole year. Underneath me, there was nobody there, so I didn't have to. It was nice, and then when she moved in, you don't really know the background of your neighbors until you do. And what I found out about autistic nonverbal children is that when they're happy, they like to jump and stomp. And for me, that was a lot, because I wasn't used to that at first. I mean, I'm used to just being quiet and then everything's just rattling up here, right? but bless her soul, she came and knocked on my door, and she felt terrible. You could just see it in her face, like she didn't even, she was just like, I'm so sorry, I just want to explain to you that my son is nonverbal autistic. And I said, listen, you don't have to say sorry at all. That's out of your control. You can't control that. You know what I mean? So she's actually taught me a few things, and so has he. And I never really knew anything about nonverbal autism children and up until she moved in. And I got to see a few of her struggles because she's called me during some of them. Her family lives a couple states away, so she'll take a bus. She'll take the Greyhound, and
Wow.
he screams, when he's happy because that's how he communicates, and it's a high pitch, and if you don't understand it, it's, so she's gotten really bad looks, and, gestures weren't so nice, and people just kind of judging her with the way that they were looking at her. And she would just call me, and like, she's almost literally, she's angry to the point where she's going to cry because she's so upset. Right. And that's out of character for her because this girl, bless her soul, she has so much patience, more patience than I do. And she does it all by herself too. And I'm not going to get emotional, but I probably will. Because it's incredible to see that how much love he has for his mom, even though he can't speak, because I've been able to see it. Excuse me. Okay, we're back. Sorry, my face is a little red. I got a little emotional there. It's emotional talking about it because I didn't have to go through any of those struggles as a mom. So seeing her go through it, it broke my heart. So anybody who knows me, I go above and beyond, and I don't do it for a prize. I don't do it for an announcement. I do it because I have a big heart. And I was seeing she was struggling with this issue. So I took it upon myself, and I went on Amazon, huge rabbit hole with that one. And, but I found the best thing for her, because she didn't have this. And because he is autistic, autism, the symbol for autism is the puzzle sign. And
Yeah.
so I got her this, or I got him actually. It's what are those necklace things called that you hold
The lanyard,
that,
lanyard,
yes,
lanyard.
with a little card that says that addresses that I am autistic and I may communicate differently than you. And then there's a space for his name, her name, and the phone number. And but I didn't stop there because he is going to be going into school soon, and he's such a little character. I mean, this boy, and he melts my heart to the and. Sorry, I'm getting tripped up with my words, but I got him this backpack, and it's what is it where you can put the name on there and everything?
Customization.
That's the word I was looking for, that you ET phone home. And when I couldn't keep a secret for anything. Sorry, I can't get the words out. I'm too excited to talk about it. But I had to tell her that I called her and I was asking her questions like, how do you spell his name? What's his favorite color? And she's probably already wondering what the heck's going on. And I finally just told her, listen, I've never seen somebody so grateful for anything in their life, because it's a struggle that she has to deal with, because it's not like his is very hidden like mine is. Mine's hidden. If my ADHD is going, you won't know. I'm not all over the place. I'll sit here. I'm quiet. That's the only thing. If you know me, I don't, this never stops. But if I'm quiet, then Holly must be with ADHD or a panic attack or something, So anyways, I'm gonna close this up now
Well,
because yes.
before you do, I just want to, one, say thank you for sharing that story because it just goes to share and show our concerned mama that it takes a community instead of taking it all on as their own parent.
Yeah. It takes
So
a village. That's where the
thank you for
saying
sharing
comes
that.
from. It takes a village. So
Right.
I guess my last closing thing is my advice for you is continue to show love and support at home, because that support system, he will achieve anything in life. The main support system we all thrive on is from the people who love us the most. I need you to understand that the kids and the teachers at that school are just a small percentage of the world. There are so many more people in this world who will accept us for who we are. I am friends with the same people I went to grade school with, and we are now 40. Not one person has brought up me or my walk of shame, as I call it, to the hallway for extra help. So, excuse me. Um, Again, continue to show your son love and support at home. It is very important so he can embrace his unique qualities. With love and support from family, anything can be achieved. Anything else, Camelia?
Nope. Just know that you're on the right path and you're doing the right thing and you're not alone.
Thank you for tuning into our channel where life events never stop, and either do we.
Bye.
Bye.